My name is Malik, and this is my video out. I am Malik Edwards. I am from Houston, Texas, born and raised. Growing up there was eventful, to say the least. Well, my dad's a preacher, and my mom is just like, you know, a Southern woman working to support her child, aka me. So, it was like, and I was the only child for my mom, but I'm like the baby for my dad. So, I got like the best parts. But it was like, I don't know, I got to experience a good amount of stuff thanks to my mom and dad. I had said to my mom, like, whenever I was little, I think we were watching something on BET Child, and Prince was on there, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's so handsome. And my mom was like, no. She was like, don't say that. And I was like, what? Why not? And she was like, no, you don't call other boys handsome. And I was like, okay, so I always had that in the back of my mind. But then, like, in the 3rd grade, I'm screaming, that sounds like that Macklemore song. We don't listen. But no, in the 3rd grade, I had a diary that my English teacher had given me. Diary journal, whichever one. And she was like, you can write in it every day, just like accent and all. She was like, you can write in it every day, just like put your feelings. And I was like, oh yes, like okay. So, which is why I love writing now. And in it, I wrote about this boy that I had the biggest crush on. His name was either Julio or Jose. And it was at that point, like, I knew something was, like, different. Like, I was like, I'm not writing about any girls in my diary. Ugh, no, that's gross. Like, so, but, like, I literally had, like, poems, like, to Jose that I would never read to him because that's embarrassing. And my mom found it and then, like, told my uncle. She never told my dad. Told my uncle, who then asked me if I was gay. But I'm like in the 3rd grade, so I'm like, I don't even know what that is. But okay, whatever. No. No. I mean, it was kind of like one of those moments where people knew, but I wasn't like 100% sure in myself as to what I was or what I wanted to represent. So, of course, when asked, I'm going to say, like, I don't know what you're talking about, no. But in actuality, like when I'm by myself, I'm like blasting Lady Gaga and like talking about boys and like all of these things. Mind you, I did have crushes on girls, but then like when it came to coitus, I knew it wasn't going to happen with them. The first person, I remember it was like middle school. I feel like most men who identify as like gay come out as bisexual first just to like, you know, lighten the load. So like it was, I remember it was middle school. I had told this girl, Jalissa, that I was bisexual. And then I was also friends with this other boy named George. And I was like, I think I'm bisexual. And next thing you know, everyone's talking about it. So it's just like one of those moments, like, have you seen that meme with Mr. Krabs? And he's just like, oh my god. Like, and that was like the experience. That was my experience in middle school. So then it was just like, okay, so I guess like openly I'll identify as bisexual, right? So yeah, but I didn't really talk much to girls. Oh, I'm gay as fuck. Oh my gosh, what's that song? Rich ends, 8 figures. That's my type. That's my type. That's my type. I think the most difficult part of like learning how to live in my own skin was like coming to the realization that I was living for myself. So, amongst friends, like, or people I thought were friends, amongst like people that I associated with, like it was easy for me to be myself. My main concern, like the main hardship, was like acceptance, looking for acceptance when it came to like family and my mom. Like my mom is literally like all I care about, and I told her that. I was like, you're the only person I care about. I don't really care about nobody else. So like looking for acceptance from her was like one of the hardships that I like faced. Because everyone else, I didn't really care. I mean, y'all not paying my bills, so. I actually knew a woman of trans experience who was like murdered in New Orleans, China Gibson. I was living here when it happened, and when I found out it was like it was. I mean, of course you see it, but whenever you actually know someone, and it actually like when it happens like close to home, it's just like whoa. Like, you know, you can always say something like, "Oh, stop! You know, stop this! Like, this is terrible," but when it actually happens, you don't really know how to feel or how to react. So, also, finding that people within the community don't support trans women of color. It's disheartening. What gives me the most hope is people like myself, or people who feel that change needs to come. And change will come, definitely. I mean, of course, it's going to be over time due to the fact that people are ignorant, but you know, whatever. But just people who believe in change and people who are fighting for change and people who stand up for their sisters and brothers. We're all just humans. That's it. We're all humans. What you see is like what you see, but at the end of the day, we're humans. My favorite part about being me is, I'll say, my drive. Like, no matter what I like battle internally, I try not to show it externally. Even though I'm dealing with certain things, I try to push through them and still try to be there for others. One, follow my first mind and believe in myself more and go for what I want because I deserve it.
That's it. That's it. There. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Amazing.